Peace be with you, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Trevor. Very grateful to have you here. In today's video, I've got a recollection of my weekly fragrance rotation, just finishing off just the first week of August near about. I think today is the 12th, so running in from about the 4th through the 11th is what I was rocking. Starting off with my fragrance of the day for Monday, Terre d'Hermes Eau Givre. Really nice woody dry down, very reminiscent of the original. You get that nice kind of cedar-like quality, but the star of the show here is this very citric grapefruit-like opening. I think they list citron as the actual citrus note in here, but it definitely gives off a very tart grapefruit vibe. And then this frosted glass does a good job of selling the sort of tonality of the fragrance. It has this very frosty appeal going on with it due to a juniper berry note in here, which juniper berry is somewhat of a almost like boozy pine tree sensation, so you definitely get that coniferous sort of outdoorsy wintertime feel from this fragrance in the opening, particularly. Something that only lasts about 3 to 4 hours, and then it kind of settles into that watered down Terre d'Hermes DNA. But this is the only one that I did get a compliment on all this week, so definitely worth checking this one out. Definitely the best summertime flanker on the market currently from the Terre d'Hermes line. Haven't gotten my nose on the Eau Trace Fraîche. Definitely want to try and score that one eventually. I hear it's even better than this one for the summertime, but this was a great investment. Like I said, the only one that got me a compliment. Got a nice little dent in there, so have gotten some good wearing out of it, and perfect for this time of the year where we're transitioning into the autumn because of that nice dry woody facet. Speaking of dry woody facets, this next one is also perfect for this time of the year. A clone of Tigar, and one that I actually prefer over both the original Tigar and Sospiro's Vibrato, which this kind of gets a little bit closer to Vibrato than Tigar, but this is Junoon Oud from Al Haramain. So for 1/10 of the price, I think this is right around $44 on the discounters, and that's not even including if you get a tester, which comes down sub 40, I believe. But this is the kind of nice grapefruit, powdery woods, and ambery toned sensation that you get from the traditional Tigar DNA, but this one brings patchouli and rosewood into the mix. And while the opening is a little bit kind of, I want to say, syrupy synthetic in terms of the grapefruit coming off a little bit unnatural compared to the higher end designer versions of this, or the niche versions, this one dries down into an almost identical scent profile, but it brings to the table a little bit of added depth and masculinity because of that rosewood patchouli combo. A lot less airy and a lot more solid than the originals from this. I also prefer this to Alexandria Fragrance's Black Panther, although I'm interested to revisit that one. I have in the collection, but it's had a little bit of time to macerate, so I'll maybe compare the two. But this one has gotten me quite a few compliments in the past. Probably the most complimented fragrance in this rotation this week. Just didn't get one when I wore it on Tuesday, but one of my favorite wearing experiences, especially for this time of the year. We were still pretty warm, trailing out into the mid-90s for the majority of the week. And then Saturday we had the weather kind of shift on us. But for Wednesday, I went in. It's the day where I work my night shift. Usually Monday, Tuesday I work all day. Thursday, Friday I work daytime. And Wednesday I go in the evening, and I wore this one, Bergamask from Ordo Parisi. This also kind of goes into that Tigar scent profile, that little bit of a ambery sweetness with a citric focus and some slightly powdery qualities going on. This one's a little bit different though. It has a really nice lavender note that gives it this fresh, clean linen kind of heart. And then the bergamot is also very well done. It articulates all facets of the bergamot fruit, from the grindy, rindy, green, unripe aspects of the skin of the fruit, and then the juicy, fruity, sweet nuances, as well as the tart, sour, citric facets of it. This one also didn't give me a compliment this week, but last week when I wore it, it got me multiple compliments in the same day from multiple people, both co-workers and clients, or people that I deliver food for a restaurant, so people that were ordering the food when I was dropping it off would compliment me on this one. Also, very beast mode, probably the one with the best projection and longevity out of everything in this list. This one lasts all day and creates one of the best scent bubbles out of everything in this rotation. So Bergamask from Ordo Parisi, really awesome summer fragrance. for Wednesday. Thursday, another one, didn't get a compliment this week, but has gotten me unique compliments in the past. One that people have told me that I carry very well, so this could easily be a signature scent of mine. And I loved wearing it on Thursday. This is Bulgari Pour Homme Extreme. I think sadly discontinued and replaced by an Eau de Parfum in the same bottle shape. Haven't got my nose on that one, but this one is a really nice kind of spicy, a little bit green toned tea fragrance. Reminds me of just like sun soaking some tea out, sun soaking some black tea out on the porch. You just get that nice ambery colored sensation coming in with the green tea facets, and then the light filtering through that sort of ambery colored tea. It's really the sort of imagery that comes to mind while wearing this one. It has that slightly spicy nuance too that gives it a very masculine appeal. Perfumed by Jacques Cavalier, who's done all of the Louis Vuitton freshies that are really hyped right now, and I think his masterful work is translated here in this fragrance also. And this one is still popping up at the discounters despite being discontinued. I've seen the 100 mLs for under 100, and the 50 mLs are still floating around all over the place for right around 70. Definitely recommend getting your nose on something from that line. Next up, Friday. Friday is where I like to wear niche fragrances, and this sort of trailing end of the summertime, moving into the autumn, brings up a lot of memories of early school days, that first day of school, kind of that crispness in the air. Wasn't quite here on Friday, definitely showed up on Saturday. We definitely had a marked shift in temperature and the weather in general on Saturday, but this period of the year definitely puts me in the mood for barbershop fragrances. I just feel like spring and autumn are the perfect time of the year for those scent profiles, and this one is newer to the collection. It's kind of like a barbershop take on Terre d'Hermes, and this is Creed Viking Cologne, and this is deceptively soft. So I put it on and I felt like I couldn't really smell it, and it was just very light and airy, but as the wearing progression went on, I was catching whiffs of this throughout the day after I thought it had evaporated, but I think I was just going nose blind to it. And like I said, it's just got this very nice, strong lavender geranium heart underneath of this very nice, bright orange and soda poppy kind of citrus quality that you would get from Terre d'Hermes. Definitely goes into the same scent profile as that, with that little bit of an added barbershop quality. Really beautiful stuff, and like I said, a lot more long-lasting than I was giving it credit for, and I think the scent profile of both barbershop and Terre d'Hermes melds perfectly in with this sort of nice transitional weather that we're going through with. And that was my fragrance of the day for Friday. And then Saturday, like I said, we really had that marked shift in temperature. It was getting down into the 60s in the morning time, which is like a 30-degree drop from our highs. And it was only reaching up into the mid-70s during the daytime. And so first time during this entire summer where we've just turned off the AC and opened up the windows and rode that out through the whole rest of the day without overheating the inside of the house. And again, I was just really feeling that barbershop appeal and reached for this one, Azzaro Pour Homme Low. This has become a definite recent favorite of mine for the summertime. Picked it up earlier this spring. And again, it kind of was deceptively soft-spoken, kind of like the Creed Viking. I couldn't really smell it when I first applied it, perhaps just over-spraying it and going a little nose-blind. But this is a really nice sort of yellow-toned shaving cream vibe. You get the same kind of sensation of that sweet, creamy foam that you get for the barbershop sensation with something like Rive Gauche. But this adds that little bit of yuzu that kind of brightens it up, adds a yellow hue, and makes it a lot more illuminating than your traditional barbershop fragrance, which kind of has a sort of sweet tinge to it, and this one does have that as well. But the yuzu is definitely prominent enough to give it a very bright, refreshing, effervescent kind of feel to it. And this is what I was wearing Saturday when I was putting together a... me and my dad got together and we're putting together a swing set for my daughter in the backyard, and she's been really excited about that. My wife usually takes her out to the park, but now we have a little park in the backyard, and she was really, really grateful and excited about it. And that was nice little barbershop fragrance to feel fresh, clean, and diligent while working on that project. And then for Sunday, just went with Acqua di Parma Colonia, the original, again, kind of keeping in with that barbershop feel. Lavender has been a note that's been calling to me quite a bit lately. And this has a really nice scent bubble that follows you around while wearing it. It's a beautiful powdery orange and lemon combo that is centered in with that nice lavender appeal, that powdery talcum powder kind of barbershop feel. Less of the shaving foam and more of that powdery clean quality. But this is a classic that's, I think, been around for near about 100 years now, and there's a reason it's still on the market and selling so well. And defining one of the best brands for summertime fragrances in general. I think this line has spawned some of the most sought-after fragrances like Fico di Amalfi, the Intenza, and Essenza flankers. And just really glad to have that one. And it's pretty affordable. You can usually find testers of that one for like the $50 range for the 100 ml. So definitely recommend everything that I've mentioned in this weekly rotation. It was a great week. I had an awesome time winding down the summer. We still have quite a bit of warm weather ahead, I would imagine. Sometimes we get up into the 80s and 90s and as late as October. But this was, like I said, a really great week for me. Let me know what your rotation was in the comment section down below. And as always, I appreciate you sticking with me to the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.